right there. Yeah, chime in. What's up? What's up? Everybody chiming in? Anybody chiming in? Say what's. Let me set these. Let me set the freaking whatchamacallit, cause the chat thing, because who knows? Chat filter, type messages, messages on there. Yeah, I had to go out there and get some of that fresh parsley, guys. Check it out. You know what's up. You know what is up. Let me go ahead and get in on this because the sooner the better, right? We got the parsley, fresh parsley. You can do like 0.5 or an ounce of parsley. I've noticed that. Or if you're gonna go hardcore, you're making a bigger juice. We can go more than that. If you want. What do we gotta do, guys? You know what? I was doing a thing last time, and I think I'm gonna do it again. I did not freaking I didn't shave my carrots. You know? They say, a lot of the nutrients is in the rind or the skins of the fruits and vegetables. So, and especially when you get organic stuff, which is, you try to do that, but, hey, it's better than eating some other stuff when you have to detox. You can get some regular sprayed vegetables, fruits and vegetables, and if you're trying to detox or cure yourself or something, let me not use the word cure, or just like heal yourself a little bit, you could be like, choosing that stuff versus the stuff that got you there would be a big improvement. You know what I'm saying? Chime in if you want. Say what's up. Hey, listen, we're doing a freaking juice. We're doing a lot of stuff right now. I just want to chime in, and say what's up. I'm gonna check the chat in a second. I can't look at it right now because we're gonna do this quick. I don't want to be staying on here too long. Had what, like 10 to 15 minutes tops. I'm not coming on here to be like yappity 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 yap. You know what I'm saying? What we making today? We're making a nice juice that we're gonna have pineapples. This juice is fresh parsley from the garden that we grew ourselves, organic. Look at that. Oh, you can do cilantro also. Okay, so what we're gonna do is get rid of the ends and stuff on our vegetables. Let me check the chat. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's up? Whatever the channel is if you look at the videos, done a lot, doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully everybody's doing a lot, done a lot, doing a lot. If you're at your desk, on your site, whatever it is. What we're doing now is like a detox juice. Now listen, hey, if people don't want to do the work, you got to earn money healing other people. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Because sometimes people don't want to do the work. But at the same time, guys, guess what? This is all about, like, if you ain't feeling like your best all the time, I know we ups and downs. We always go on these ups and downs. And it's like, man, you know what? Is it us? Is it what's around us? Is it our company? Are we sleeping next to people that love us and crave us? Are we, appreciated? Are we appreciating ourselves? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it gets to be kind of crazy. Chime in, say what's up in the chat. Anybody want to say what up? Hopefully everybody's doing well. But at the same time, sometimes we gotta take a step back, guys. Hey, I'm on a freaking like a 90+ day raw food thing, but I'm also healing some other heads, like from some different chronic ailments and whatnot. Practicing my healing. I'm an herbalist, I'm a trainer, nutritionist. I've done a lot of stuff. Dancer, choreographer. Hey, it's rocking. And sometimes our system gets pretty clogged. It gets clogged up, guys. Especially if you're older, if you're 55 or older, sometimes you don't know where to go, where to turn, and your doctors are saying this. And hey, give it up to the doctors who are trying to do their best. They put the guidelines out there, but sometimes people don't even follow the doctor's guidelines, right? They say do certain exercises, they don't do them. They say eat a certain way, they don't eat a certain way. It's like, hey, even your doctors be trying to tell you something, but sometimes, we're hard-headed. That's like what my dad used to, you hard-headed. Well, people are hard-headed. They get it from their genes, right? But it's like, listen, once you, like, what did also the Bible be like, hey, once you know, you need to do better. Once you know, you need to do better, right? So we got some great apples in here, you guys. Apples, if everybody's talking about like, I can't do green juices and stuff like that, you know, I'm like, this, like, listen, apple is the universal fruit that you can put with any green juice. And people don't even know what like green juices are, you know. You can use different kind of apples, but try to make them nice and firm, you know, like a Granny Smith. Or Fuji red apple, but you know, all of them are great. The Granny Smith's, of course, more the green. It's more bitter, more stringent, you know, but it gives that sweetness. And a lot of times, people they don't like the green juices because their taste buds are like it's all like oversensitized from all the cooked food and the sodium and stuff like that, all the salts and stuff. So sometimes you gotta like even doing like a water fast to reset your palate and get your body back to where it's supposed to be. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm taking care of a person that's type 2. And men, you know, I see the numbers and I see the sticking of the needle. I see the insulin injections. I know what happens when you eat this and you eat that. And I know what happens when you eat cooked food versus raw food. And I know what healing looks like on a type 2. So you know, it's really about behavior at the same time, because a lot of these things, I do have a degree in health science, guys, health science to fitness. I do have a degree, and I've done some certifications. I'm just not doing those right now because I'm like, listen, at least not done enough. So it's really about making my own stuff. So I'm doing my own business, my own, you know, finally trying to get it more popping because, you know, hey guys, you gotta jump through those hoops, right? You gotta jump through the hoops. Hey, give it a shout out in the chat. Who's up in here? Yo, bing, bing, buddy, but yo. Yeah, yo, it is good, man. And I tell you, you know what? We're talking about relationships and stuff like that too. Like, who wants to be with a freaking stinky person, you know? And I tell you guys, if you don't have the control to freaking be like, listen, do I need to look at myself for a hot second? Am I keeping up on my hygiene? You know, I have a little other channel at night, another channel called Hygiene Matters. Hey, look it up if you like. It's like, you know what? You know, let's go and just throw this whole lemon in there. It's like, listen, we gotta detox our bodies sometimes. You know, people suffer from halitosis, and sometimes you don't even know, like, if you're even having that. It's like, you know what? At some point in time, you really gotta be like, listen, you gotta make your own spa days. Get on Groupon. You know, find a thing that's like, hey, listen, you trying to tell me those spa people, they're not looking for like some quick walk-ins from somewhere. Trust me, I've done it. You know, that's what it's all about. That's what business and capitalism is all about. That's why, you know, a lot of other things is going on because, you know, trying to take that ability for just a normal patron to get up and go bless somebody in their job, you know, like, listen, I'm coming through right here. Listen, I'm gonna come up in here and like bless you out of nowhere because I got this Groupon. And be like, listen, you want to do your freaking facial stuff on me? And I'm gonna treat myself to a little spa. Get those tensions out of your body, you know, you can get a nice massage, get a nice facial exfoliation. Ladies, you know, you people, I tell you, these ladies, they just don't understand men. They just don't get it. You know, you're not supposed to just be sitting up there doing nothing. Listen, you can do that as long as you're taking care of yourself. You got to take care of the physical. You know, who cares if you're making this, you're making that? It's like, it don't matter. That's why, you know, you ever notice like those freaking ED commercials that's out right now? Man, this stuff got me tripping, guys and ladies. I'm like, listen, first of all, they get these hot ladies to do the commercials. I'm like, listen, everybody's wife looked like that, then you wouldn't have no ED problem going on. But I'm telling you, if you take care of yourself, you wouldn't have none of that. You know, and at the same time, detoxing your body, making sure you're eating well. I swear, people like allow themselves to just let themselves go because, you know, it's really just part of those 7 deadly sins. Yo, holla. What are we at? 9:30? Okay. I said like, you know, 15. We're gonna go with a soft hit right here. First, guys, we got a lot of stuff to do. We got so much to do. So I'm saying, like, hey, listen, if listen, make the juices for your partner. Hey, listen, we're gonna go do a 7-day juice cleanse. You know, my girl, my guy. Listen, you know, it's time for us to cleanse up our bodies a little bit. See if we can really do this. And I'll tell you, really what's a secret? I'm gonna tell you the secret, guys. People are used to like eating this other stuff and then just going to sleep and stuff like that. That's the thing, it makes you tired. So, or it's a distraction. You know, that's what it is. And it's like, well, you gotta be set up for consuming this living stuff and then keeping it moving. You got to have tasks to do because it's not about sitting down and doing nothing. It's about accomplishing stuff. So this stuff, sometimes you just sip it as you're doing things, as you do your work. What work do you got to do? What work do you got to do? Well, get on it while you're eating some living stuff. Get your body set. And before you know, I tell you guys, the days are going to go by if you like it or not. The hours are going to go by. The hours are going to go by. You know, the hours are going to go by. So you might as well take the days and be like, let me focus on my health. You know, that's if you're like, hey, listen, if you're popping some pills, prescriptions, your doctors are like, please, you know what? Can you at least listen to me a little bit? That's what your doctors are saying. They're like, God dang it, they still ain't trying to do that 30 minutes exercise 3 times a week. Why don't you want to do it? You know, your partner wants you to do it, but you know, it's like, listen, it's like, you know, we have this thing going on. So that's what, like, I'm like, listen, guys, I'm all about that. Okay, listen, get the juices in, right? This is carrots, fresh celery here, just soda in my ear, fresh hydration, structured water. These vegetables, they gotta pour this stuff from the earth sometimes, you know, down below. Sometimes it's freaking coming from above, you know, and then you gotta filter it all out. It's the natural filtration system of our agriculture, you know. Who made this stuff? You know what I'm talking about? Let's get that ginger in there, you guys. And you know what? This is not it either. We can also put a little bit of boosting in here. Boosting, what are you talking about? Here's that parsley, you guys. This is like a boost. Boom. Right there. With some herbs. Not just vegetables and fruit. Use those herbs that you're growing in your herb garden. You know, if it's too hostile outside, get a small grow light for inside. You know, think outside the box. This is 21st century, guys. People are saying like, oh, it's 21st century. Then, you know, yeah, we're living longer, but we're living longer with chronic illness. Yeah, they're keeping your organs functioning longer, but you're living in a perpetual medical care. And it's like, who wants that? You want to be able to get up, walk around, enjoy your friends. That, you know, you guys finally got your pensions going on and you're chilling. But that's not what we get. We get people just, you know, you laying in bed all day. It's like, God forbid that's going on. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? What are you talking to? It's like, so let's get that stuff rocking, guys. Even you gotta do a little challenge. Don't even think about the 7 day, because honestly, I'm doing my thing for 90 plus raw stuff. I mean, hey, listen, I'm having the nuts and seeds. You feel the difference. At the same time, you guys, it's like, hey, listen, you know, make that other stuff happen. What I say, LTSBs. Sometimes let's take a step back, you know. Let's take a step back. You know, sometimes you gotta do that. LTSB. Take that out right there. Look at that. That is just luscious goodness, lusciousness. That is luscious goodness, lusciousness right there. Luscious goodness, lusciousness right there. You see that? So we're just gonna finish up the rest of these, you guys. I want to thank everybody for joining me for this freaking mid-morning little pump go get 'em session. Treat yourself to a nice acai bowl for lunch instead of going for the Chinese food. No offense to my Chinese brothers. You know, I like a little bit of my stuff too. You know, my tofu mix, but still, you know, take that challenge for 3 days, 5 days, make it a whole week. Go through the weekend and get refreshed on Monday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So let's do that. You know what I've been loving lately, guys? You know, that people just don't know about really. It's the, you know, the adaptogens and the stuff that you can boost your juices and stuff like that. What am I at? 14? I said 15. You know, here's a couple things you can definitely use. You can use some turmeric in there, you guys. Just take that, you know, not too much, 1/4 teaspoon up to a 1/2 teaspoon, something like that. And anti-inflammatory. You know, you don't want to use this with like acidic stuff. Also, what I've been getting back into, I never left it though. It's the ashwagandha, the adaptogen, you guys. Ashwagandha. It's just like just a booster. It's just a booster. You know, this is the boost that you want. You know what I'm talking about. Ooh. And it's kind of a bitter herb, bitter root. But you know, I've been loving this lately, so I'm gonna do a little bit more. This is not even really for the brother right now. I'm gonna go this for some fan, but we're hooking this up a little bit bigger than normal. Look at that. Man, I don't know why this always happens. But I always lose my my measuring cup. It's so weird that I look somewhere and I see it. I'm like, whatever. I guess I'll just use this one. It's so odd. I don't like to use this one really because sometimes it spills out. Oh, you know what? In this one, for today, we're doing a different bottle too. So just pour that one right in there. Oh, look at that. Remember that color in the crayon box extended, the orange red? Heck yeah. So good. Saving some of the glass bottles. You know what? Butters, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. Right there. Right there. That's one. I told you guys I also do my own business and whatnot, but I'm actually I'm writing I'm just doing a lot of stuff right now. Just gotta do what you can do, right? So let's make another one here, and maybe we even have a little bit for the taste test. Like I said, I'm doing this for the type 2. Because hey, you gotta be able to be willing to get up, do the things. Because guys, we're talking about heart health, we're talking about kidney health, we're talking about pancreas health, we're talking about liver health, we're talking about everything. We're talking about everything, right? But it takes motivation, it takes intention. It's moving with vibration. Decluttering, y'all still want them decluttering. Y'all see it, right? You see it. It takes motivation to get up and have to do that. To what? To create what we're going to create. Remember, guys, this is a journey. Feel free. If you like it, if you subscribe, please. Thank you so very much. Follow me because I know where I'm going. So if you want to travel this journey with me, guys, it's a lot. It's decluttering, it's renovation, it's starting what we're supposed to be doing. It's realizing different things. Here, let's cheers it up. You know what I didn't put in this? My beet. I grew this beet. I have a couple more. Look at that. I grew this, and I'm going to go ahead and freaking use this and whatnot. So cheers, you guys. You know what? That is absolutely amazing. Thank you very much for joining me. Laters.